Groton High racing for the lead with Arjun on the outside. A Spy Charger now sprinting up along the rail. It's Spy Charger going to the front with Groton High second. Our Gary races third with Arjun fourth. Great Boon on the outside of fifth. Need More Time along the rail sixth with Treasure K seventh and a Spectacular Bid trailing. They race into the far turn with Spy Charger along the rail. Groton High now drives up on the outside the challenge with Our Gary along the rail. A gap of 2.5 lengths to Great Boon in fourth. Arjun is fifth. Need More Time sixth. Treasure K and Spectacular Bid. They round the turn into the home stretch with Groton High on the outside getting the lead. Our Gary now driving up along the rail to challenge. Great Boon now coming on third with Spy Charger fourth. Through the stretch, it's Groton High on the outside getting the lead with Our Gary along the rail second. Great Boon coming strong.
In 1978, a superstar 2-year-old went postward at 30 cents on the dollar. Watch the steel gray speedball named Spectacular Bid, number 5, in action.
Strike your colors on the outside. Middle of the track instrument landing ranging up. Through the stretch, strike your colors, gets to the front by a head. Spectacular Bid on the inside second and instrument landing on the outside.
Sensationally, he hits the gate so hard it would have knocked the wind out of any ordinary horse.
Okay, it'll be the left side of the horse hitting the gate as he comes out of the third stall from the left, from stall number 5. There it is. Really, bang.
In fact, the rider could have came off him. That's how hard he hit it. But Ronnie Franklin did a good job in settling him down, but as I said before, see how agile he is. He's in perfect stride already. He's now in, as you can see, he moves into 5th position right on the inside of Sir Ivor with Cadero on, and this is where...
Little problem. Problem number 1 comes up. Forget the 3 horses in front for the moment. Look at the 2 horses in back. On the rail, that's Spectacular Bid. Angel Cordero just outside it.
Right. This is where Ronnie said that Cordero bothered him, of course.
Does it look like it to you?
It doesn't to me, Jim. It looks like he could maybe move a small Toyota in there, but...
Why didn't he go on through?
I don't know. He may have elected or wanted to be on the outside. And
look what he did instead.
Here's the thing that he did as a cardinal sin in race riding, to go out over a horse's heels.
That was dangerous there, wasn't it?
It was very dangerous. Now, doing that, he puts himself in great position. He now really has control of this race.
And watch this colt go. When he has any room and the jockey lets him go, he's almost unbelievable. But now he's going to have another problem up in front of him. 3 of the great jockeys in the country are up there from the inside out. Jeffrey Fell, Darrell McCard, and Jorge Velasquez. Now what happens here, Eddie?
Well, instead of going around, he elects to go through. And he's in there flying, gets half a length up on the inside of the leader. And whatever made him decide to make that move, I don't know. But then he pulled him up. And there was room in there, Jim. There was absolutely room in there. He pulled him up, and watch after stopping him how he will exhilarate. And this is a sign of a champion.
This horse, this colt is just unbelievable. Watch him now going all the way around the outside. He has run so far. He was 12 lengths behind at one point there in the backstretch.
But very few horses can you make over one move with. This horse looks like he could make 4 or 5 moves and still get it done. He just could be any kind of a horse, Jim. This is it's just a sensational race.
And after that, after all those adventures, he still had a little turbo boost to turn on and easily whipped his field by approximately 5 lengths. The unbelievable and dangerous run of Spectacular.
And they're off. Here they come. Stumbling a little bit, Pianist on the inside. Here's Bishop's Choice. It's taking its second from the rail with a lead as they come onto the finish line for the first time. As they head for the first turn, Pianist comes up on the inside. It puts ahead in front. Bishop's Choice just to the outside of him is second. Lot of Gold is third. And Spectacular Bid, the 4th horse wide, is in there a close 4th. They're in the first turn, and Pianist leads it by 3 parts of a length. Make it a length. Bishop's Choice is second. We get a gap of a length and a half to Lot of Gold running head and head with Spectacular Bid. They come on around the turn. Pianist is still setting the pace as they went the first quarter in 23-3. Now they straighten away for the run down the back stretch. And here is Pianist leading it, but a lot of Gold is going up on the inside into second place. And Spectacular Bid into third on the outside as Bishop's Choice is now 4th, but they're tightly bunched. It's a 4-horse race right across the racetrack now. And here is Spectacular Bid as Ron Franklin calls and says, let's go now. That goes for the lead on the outside. Lot of Gold along the rail is still second. Bishop's Choice comes into third as Pianist backs on into fourth. And they're coming to the half-mile pole, heading for the far turn as Spectacular Bid draws out to lead it by 2.5 lengths. Lot of Gold is second there, just a neck in front of Bishop's Choice third. It's 2.5 lengths to the trailer Pianist. Spectacular Bid is not increasing that lead as Lot of Gold now comes into second place, just 2 lengths back of the leader. Spectacular Bid by 2 lengths. Lot of Gold is still second, and it is Bishop's Choice now fading back there to third. It is Spectacular Bid that leads as they come around the turn, and we've got a 1/4 mile left of the Bluegrass Stakes. It is Spectacular Bid that's on the rail with the lead. Lot of Gold is still there in second place, and it is Bishop's Choice fading it even more distant third, and Pianist is out of it. Spectacular Bid is out there by 3, now make it 4 lengths. It is Spectacular Bid. Franklin whacks him with a whip, and he draws out to lead it by 4. Lot of Gold is going to be second. The way this race is going to end. It is Spectacular Bid coming to the line with his ears pricking, and as he hits the wire, he is 5 lengths.
Horse number 1, Virginia bred, the son of Secretariat General Assembly. The trainer, Leroy Jolly. The jockey, the gifted Lafitte Pinkai Jr. In the entry, horse number 1A, the only horse to have raced and won at 1 1/4 miles, Sir Ivor again. Mrs. Christopher's horse, Leroy Jolly, the trainer, Don Macbeth, the jockey. Horse number 2, the winner of the Louisiana and Arkansas Derbies, Golden Axe, Sandy Hawley, the veteran Canadian rider, up and a very good one indeed. Horse number 3, unsurprisingly, even shockingly, Great Redeemer, owned and trained by Dr. J.A. Muhammad. Richard DePass, the rider. Forget about it. Horse number 4, the favorite. The Bid, Spectacular Bid, 19-year-old Ronnie Franklin up. The trainer, Garrulous Grover, Buddy Delp. And horse number 5 from California, Shamgo. The jockey, Frank Olivares. The trainer, John Sullivan, apparently in for the ride. Horse number 6, the finishing horse, the horse with an outside chance, considered by many to be a threat, Screen King, Angel Cordero Jr., the redoubtable one, up. The trainer, Luis Barrera. Horse number 7, King Celebrity, also apparently in for the ride. R.J. Taylor, the trainer, Cash Asmussen, the jockey. Horse number 8, the second choice, the California bred, Flying Paster, with the crafty Don Pierce in the irons. And, of course, the trainer, Gordon Campbell. And then the bottom horse, the number 9 horse, Lot of Gold, Smiley Adams, the colorful trainer, the jockey, Don Brumfield, who's had a hot hand this week at Churchill Downs.
So the last two horses, Flying Paster and a Lot of Gold, ready to move in. Flying Paster, second choice at 2 to 1. And they're up. From between horses, Shamgo going for the lead on the extreme outside, a Lot of Gold ranging up. And it's General Assembly, now passing the stands for the first time. That's Shamgo along the rail, General Assembly between horses, and a Lot of Gold on the outside, and Flying Paster is right there. 4 of them across the track, and there's 1 mile to go. On the inside now, it's General Assembly. Shamgo on the rail, Flying Paster third, then a Lot of Gold on the outside fourth. Great Redeemer surprisingly up in 5th position. Then it's King Celebrity, 6th on the outside. Spectacular Bid is 7th. Screen King moves through 8th along the rail. Golden Act is 9th by a head. And Sir Ivor again is 10th on the outside as they race on to the backstretch. And it's Shamgo holding on to the lead by, about half a length. And General Assembly on the outside is second by 3.5. Then it's Lot of Gold, third by a length and a quarter. And on the inside, Great Redeemer is 4th by 3 parts of a length. Then on the outside, Flying Paster, 5th by a head. King Celebrity moves through with a rush now 6th. Spectacular Bid is 7th and closing ground. That's the Bid right alongside the Paster as they move to the half-mile pole. Shamgo has the lead. From between horses, that's General Assembly. There goes Flying Paster. Don Pierce puts Flying Paster in gear on the outside. After that, it's King Celebrity. Now they're on the far turn, and Spectacular Bid also makes a move. 3/8 of a mile to go. It's General Assembly holding on to the lead. On the inside, between horses, that's Flying Paster, and on the outside, there goes the Bid. So it's the bid on the outside. Spectacular Bid gets the lead by a head. General Assembly on the inside, second, and Flying Paster is third, and down the stretch they come, and it's Spectacular Bid taking the lead by a length and a half. Along the inside, General Assembly is second. Flying Paster drops back on the outside, Golden Act coming on, but there's a 16th of a mile to go, and Spectacular Bid is going to win the 105th running of the Kentucky Derby. Spectacular Bid doesn't run Franklin aboard. General Assembly second under the wire. After that, it was Golden Act and King Celebrity. So about 7th around the clubhouse turn, Ronnie Franklin made a big move with the bid on the far turn and on to victory. Time on the board, 2 minutes, 2 2/5 seconds.
On the race course, Spectacular Bid does not carry jockey Ronnie Franklin. Now Ronnie is just up on the horse now, ready to go. The 19-year-old from Dundalk, Maryland, the biggest day of his life. Certainly after the Kentucky Derby, and in his mind, I'm sure at least equal to it because of the hometown flavor that we have here today. The official attendance, 72,000 and some. That's something of a disappointment. The overnight rain had a lot to do with it, I'm sure. Right now, the sunshine we had when we came on the air is slowly disappearing, and there's a big black cloud, as I indicated at the beginning, coming in over the first turn. So far, however, not even a sprinkle of rain. It looks like they will probably at least get the race in under the same track conditions that they have now. Angel Cordero going out on Screen King. General Assembly, number 5, with that starting, that saddlecloth number, will be the last on the racetrack for the post-parade.
On the horse is the Paster, Flying Paster, the jockey, the veteran Don Pierce, who still believes in the horse. The trainer, Gordon Campbell, the owner, Ben Ritter. The number 2 horse is everybody's choice. Spectacular Bid, the Kentucky Derby winner. 19-year-old Ronnie Franklin in the irons. And, of course, the trainer is Grover Delp. The number 3 horse is Golden Act, the winner of the Arkansas and Louisiana Derbies. 3rd place finisher in the Kentucky Derby. The Canadian rider, Sandy Hawley up, and a good one, I might add. The number 4 horse, Screen King, a major disappointment in the Kentucky Derby, but presumably a late finisher who might like this track. And the man on him, Angel Cordero Jr. The number 5 horse is the second choice. General Assembly, second in the Kentucky Derby. The nation's leading money winner thus far, the jockey up. At his peak, Lafitte Pincaille Jr. And, of course, the train...
To take the early lead is the last one in this field of 5 to move into line. They all carry 126 pounds, and they're off. And on the outside, that's General Assembly with Flying Paster along the rail and Screen King third. Spectacular Bid on the inside is fourth. Golden Act is fifth. Passing the stands for the first time, a speed duel. It's Flying Paster on the rail and General Assembly on the outside. They're 4 lengths in front of Screen King, who is third. Then it's Spectacular Bid racing far away from the rail, and Golden Act is fifth as they round the clubhouse turn. It's Flying Paster on the rail. General Assembly on the outside. Those two stride for strides. A blistering early pace. General Assembly in front now by a head. Flying Paster on the inside, second by 3.5 lengths. Screen King is third. And Spectacular Bid fourth, followed by Golden Act. They straighten away down the backstretch. First quarter in 23 2/5 seconds, exactly the same as the track record. Now down the backstretch, and it's General Assembly showing the way 3 parts of length. Flying Paster along the inside, a second length and a half. Screen King is right there, third. And on the far outside, Spectacular Bid is fourth and charging up. Then a gap of 4, and it's Golden Act. The quintet moves past the half-mile pole. Tightly bunched. There goes
and here's the field. Number 1, Martin Kaplan's King Celebrity, trained by R.J. Taylor, ridden by John Niehead Jr.
Only 2 wins in his entire career, Jack, but he was 4th in the Kentucky Derby, which gives him some kind of a chance.
Number 2, General Assembly, Bertman Firestone, the owner, Leroy Jolly, the trainer, Angel Cordero Jr., the rider.
Look you well at him, Jack. A stamp of his father's Secretariat, a beautiful chestnut colt. He's won 3 stakes, 2nd in the Kentucky Derby, trained by Leroy Jolly, a brilliant young man. He could be tough.
And here's the big one, number 5 in the black and blue. Colors of Hawksworth Farm, Spectacular Bid, trained by Bud Delp, ridden by Ronnie Franklin.
For him, Jack, reasonably on edge. Look at that. Look at those stats. And the month of August is something for him to avoid. He's only been beaten twice in his life, both in August of last year. Otherwise, 14 victories on this brilliant colt.
Number 6, Screen King, Flying Z Stables, Luis Barrera and Cash Asmussen, the rider.
I spoke to Luis in the paddock. He acknowledged the 3rd in the Preakness was a good race. Some thought he might be closer. He's back home. He might be tough.
Number 7, Gallant Best, Viola Summer, the owner, Frank Martin, the trainer, George Martins, the rider.
He's the most seasoned 3-year-old with his 18 starts in this Belmont today, and he recently won a 1.5 mile race, Jack, and distance is important.
Number 8 here is Golden Act, owned by Merino Beach Stables, Lauren Rattel, the trainer, and Sandy Hawley, the rider.
No prettier color than that golden chestnut, and no better record for consistency than his 14 times in the money in 14 starts.
An honest horse. Number 9, Coastal, owned by William Hagan Perry, trained by David Whiteley, ridden by Ruben Hernandez.
David Whiteley, a fine young trainer. Notice, Jack, no blinkers. Very courageous of Whiteley, but for a reason. This colt won blinkers in his last 3 victories. Whiteley took him off, and I'm sure because it relaxes horses more when you want to rate them going a distance.
Going the distance. And number 10, Mystic Era, owned by Charles E. Festa Jr., trained by Heliodoro Agostinas and ridden by Jorge Velasquez.
Heliodoro, an old friend of yours, rode Forgo, a fine trainer. This colt did win a race at 1 mile 3/8, and he has one of the world's great distance riders on his back, Jorge Velasquez. Little on edge, and
yes,
he's trotting.
He's doing a little jig on the way to the post here, and the jock's getting tied on, fixing his stirrup. The rest of the field seems to be going perfect. Everyone's settled down pretty good. He looks like the only horse on his toes.
Jack,
now,
Jim
is that
Bailey.
a good sign to be on your toes?
Yeah, he's better be today.
Yeah, get your attention, huh?
Jim, you're going to turn around and look over the rest of the field. Anything that you see worth mentioning? Anybody out of line? Anybody not
No,
quiet?
everything looks very good. King Celebrity's here. The 1 horse. Golden Act is very calm. Green King. Looks like the bid's the only horse shook up.
A well-behaved field of 3-year-olds. The crowd roars again, and maybe Spectacular Bid even more on edge because of that noise, Jack.
Absolutely.
Let's jog up, everybody. We've got a minute. Come on.
Well, he is a little bit stirred up, as you see right there. Now, don't think that we're blowing an alarm bell. This is not meaning that he's not going to win because he's on the muscle. But he does react to the crowd noise. He is competitive.
What has been his history in loading in the gate, Frank?
The assistant starter and the starter have been instructed by his connections, Jack, to let Ronnie Franklin make the decision. If Ronnie calls for help, an assistant starter will come in with him. If Ronnie thinks he can make it on his own, they'll follow his wishes. Right?
Mystic Era, Jorge Velasquez aboard. They're all in line. And they're off. King Celebrity on the outside is Gallant Best. Gallant Best takes the lead now by a neck. On the inside again is Spectacular Bid. Then Golden Act. Farther out is Coastal and a Mystic Era. Past the stands for the first time now. It's Gallant Best leading the way by 2. Spectacular Bid is second by a length. On the outside is Coastal in 3rd. Golden Act Racing 4th. General Assembly in 5th by 2. Along the inside is King Celebrity, followed by Screen King and Mystic Era around the far turn. Gallant Best has the lead by 4. It's Spectacular Bid in second by a length. Then General Assembly is 3rd by a half length. On the outside, Coastal in 4th by a length and a half. Golden Act in 5th by 4. Then King Celebrity is 6th by 2. Screen King in 7th, and Mystic Era is 8th. The first quarter in 23 and 2. They are really blazing away onto the backstretch now, and Gallant Best has the lead, but by only a neck. Moving up on the outside now is Spectacular Bid, and Spectacular Bid on the outside puts ahead in front. Gallant Best on the rail, back into second now by 3. Spectacular Bid draws clear now by a full length. Gallant Best on the rail in second by 4. General Assembly is third by 3. Then Coastal in fourth by a length and a half. Golden Act on the outside in fifth by 4. King Celebrity in fifth. On the outside is Screen King, followed by Mystic Era. Down the back stretch, the half in 47 and 3, 3/4 in 1:11 and 1. They continue to set a torrid pace. It is Spectacular Bid in front by 3. Gallant Best on the outside, but there goes General Assembly on the inside. General Assembly is now second by a half length. Gallant Best dropping back in second by a length and a half. Coastal moving up now in third. Golden Act also gaining ground around the far turn. Spectacular Bid has the lead by 2. General Assembly is second by a length. Gallant Best still in third by a neck. Golden Act on the outside in fourth. Coastal on the rail. There goes Screen King also moving up around the far turn. It is Spectacular Bid in command by 3. General Assembly is second by a length. Golden Act on the outside moving up in third. Coastal gains ground on the rail at the top of the stretch. It is Spectacular Bid. He has the lead by 3. Coastal on the inside is moving up toward leader now and down the stretch. Spectacular Bid on the outside. It is Coastal on the inside. Those two now vying for the lead, and Coastal puts ahead in front. Spectacular Bid back into second. Golden Act is third, approaching the 16th pole. It is an upset now. Coastal has the lead by 3. Spectacular Bid on the inside, Coastal on the outside. It is Coastal in front. And under the wire, an upset in this, the Belmont Stakes. Coastal, the supplemented horse, Coastal, owned by William Hagan Perry, trained by David Whiteley, ridden by Ruben Hernandez. The upset winner of the Belmont Stakes. A very tight photo between Spectacular Bid and Golden Act for place and show positions in the Belmont. The time for the race, 2 minutes, 28 and 3/5 seconds. And now back to Jack.
On the inside, Starred and Asker with text on the outside. General Assembly along the rail, then Coastal and Cox's Ridge. Down the chute now. General Assembly takes the lead by a head. Starred and Asker on the outside, right there in second by a length. Then Spectacular Bid is third by a neck, and Text in fourth on the far outside. Coastal on the rail is fifth. Cox's Ridge very close in sixth down the back stretch. They are very tightly bunched early in the race. Starred and Asker has the lead by a head. Along the inside, General Assembly, Spectacular Bid on the outside with Text. It is General Assembly taking the lead by a head. Spectacular Bid on the outside, now into second. Between those two, Starred and Asker is third. Text farther out, a closer fourth, and Coastal fifth, and Cox's Ridge. The first quarter, 24 and 2.5 and 47 and 2. It's not a fast pace, but Spectacular Bid has the lead by a head. General Assembly right there in second on the rail. Text on the outside is third by 3. Star Danaskra drops back in fourth. Coastal on the rail fifth, and Cox's Ridge on the outside is sixth. They race in 2 flights around the far turn. Spectacular Bid has the lead by a neck. Text on the outside is second by a head. General Assembly in third on the rail by 2. Then Star Danaskra, Cox's Ridge gains on the outside. Coastal back into sixth at the top of the stretch. Spectacular Bid has the lead by a length and a half. General Assembly on the rail in second by a length and a half. Text on the outside third. Coastal gains on the rail, then Star Danaskra and Cox's Ridge. Past the 8th pole now, it's Spectacular Bid all by himself in command by 3.5. General Assembly is second by 2, then Coastal and Cox's Ridge. Spectacular Bid in front.
It would take to compete with these 3.
A 3-year-old at 121 pounds.
Scale weight indeed.
Number 3, Hawkworth Farms, Spectacular Bid, trained by Bud Delp and ridden by William Shoemaker.
And the name describes the horse. He is spectacular. And Jack, an aside from this normal post parade, I was close with him. I visited with Bud in the paddock. He looks better to me by far than he did this summer or even early fall.
Well, that's saying something indeed. Number 6, Harborview Farms, Affirmed, trained by Las Barrera, ridden by Lafitte Pinkai Jr.
By the world's opinion, by the odds board right now, by most of the cognoscentes' belief, this is the best horse alive. He is going to be tested today.
First horse ever to earn $2 million. Number 7, William Hagan Perry's Coastal, the Belmont winner, trained by Dave Whiteley, ridden by Ruben Hernandez.
Loath to predict, Jack, but he will stalk the pace. I think that's obvious to you, me, and all of our thousands and millions of watchers. He'll be just off of the lead horses, hoping they air, hoping they slow down, and if they do...
That's Hernandez on Coastal. They're all in line. The flag is up, and they're off. It's affirmed on the outside, sprinting to an early lead. Gallant Best on the inside, in second by a length. Spectacular Bid is third by a head, but Coastal on the outside, a very close fourth. They are tightly bunched past the stands for the first time. Affirmed on the outside, does have the lead by a neck. Gallant Best on the inside, second by a length. Spectacular Bid in third by a head. Coastal on the outside in fourth. They race very tightly into the clubhouse turn the first quarter, 25 even. Gallant Best now takes the lead by a head. Affirmed does drop back a bit in second by a half length. Now Spectacular Bid moves on the outside, and Coastal is also moving up. Affirmed once again takes the lead by a neck. Now a half length. Spectacular Bid moves on the outside to be second. Gallant Best drops back in third by a head, and Coastal on the outside right there in fourth. Those four on to the backstretch now. The half in 49 even. It is not a fast pace. Affirmed has the lead by a length. Spectacular Bid on the outside in second by a length and a half. Gallant Best third on the outside. It's Coastal. Affirmed does lead the way by a length. He maintains the lead by a length. Now a half length. A Spectacular Bid moves on the outside to get closer. Gallant Best still in third. Coastal on the outside moves up a bit. Down the back stretch, 3/4, 113 and 1. It's Affirmed and Spectacular Bid. Affirmed does lead by a neck. Spectacular Bid on the outside, can't get closer. Spectacular Bid still in second by a length and a half. Now Coastal is third as Gallant Best drops back in fourth. They're past the half-mile pole. A mile and 137 on to 1. Affirmed still leads by a half length. And on the inside, moving up is Coastal. Spectacular Bid back into third. Coastal is now challenging the leader. Affirmed on the outside has the lead by a neck. Coastal on the inside moves into second by a half length. It's Spectacular Bid between those two in third, but dropping back a bit. Gallant Best is still fourth as they enter the stretch. On the outside, Affirmed on the rail. It's Coastal between those two. Spectacular Bid. Those three now across the track approaching eighth pole. Affirmed once again draws clear by a length. On the inside, it's Spectacular Bid in second. Coastal is dropping back in third, past the 16th pole. Affirmed on the outside takes this race. Course of the year, Affirmed in front. And number the wire, it is Affirmed, the winner by almost a length. Spectacular Bid was second by 2.5. Coastal was third. Gallant Best was fourth. The time on the board, 2 minutes. And
the Meyer House, what a race, as Affirmed coming again.
Jack, they hit him 1-2. They both tried him early. They tried him late. Spectacular Bid stumbled just a little. But Affirmed passed the test today.
Wow, did he ever.
They're all in line. And they're off. On the far outside, Valdez. Text from between horses now ranges up quickly. There goes Text getting the lead. Valdez on the outside is second by 2.5 lengths. Along the inside, it's Spectacular Bid racing third by 1. Then King Celebrity and Smart 10. They pass us for the first time with Text in front by a length and a quarter. Valdez is second, 2 lengths. Spectacular Bid is racing third by 2.5. King Celebrity on the outside is fourth. And along the rail, Smart 10. The quintet moves around the clubhouse turn that way. Text along the inside has the lead by a half length, and Valdez, closer up than usual, is now second with the Bid racing third. Then a gap of 2.5 lengths and King Celebrity, and on the inside, Smart 10 moves through. They straighten away down the backstretch. It's Text holding on to the lead by a half length. Valdez second. On the outside, there goes Spectacular Bid, a closer third. Then a gap of 2 lengths, and Smart 10 is fourth. King Celebrity races fifth. Going to the half-mile pole, Valdez inching up on the outside to challenge. Text on the rail. Past the half-mile pole now. On the outside, Valdez getting to the front by a head. Text on the inside second, and on the outside there goes Spectacular Bid. And around the far turn they go. There's 3/8 of a mile to the finish, and their heads apart at Spectacular Bid on the outside. Valdez toward the rail second. Text is racing third, and Smart 10 moves boldly on the outside fourth. Now a 1/4 of a mile to go. It's Valdez coming back again on the rail. Spectacular Bid on the outside. They straighten away and turn for home. It's Spectacular Bid in front. Valdez toward the inside
second, and Smart 10 third. In the final furlong, Spectacular Bid in front now by 2. Valdez second and Smart 10 third. It's Spectacular Bid with Bill Shoemaker aboard. Spectacular Bid wins the Meadowlands Cup.
On the outside, known presence, Flying Paster now ranges up on the rail, and Rosie Seville between horses. It's Rosie Seville getting the lead. Known presence on the outside. How Rewarding moves through on the rail, third by a half. Flying Paster back to fourth, and Spectacular Bid is fifth. Down the backstretch, Rosie Seville leads by a head, and How Rewarding moves through on the inside. There goes Spectacular Bid between horses, third. Flying Paster on the inside, and Known Presence on the outside, fifth. On to the far turn. It's Rosie Seville in front by a head. How Rewarding on the inside. Flying Paster now third, and Spectacular Bid on the outside, fourth by 2. Then Known Presence. Midway around the turn, Rosie Seville has the lead by a head. There goes Spectacular Bid on the outside, and Flying Paster moves right with them. A quarter of a mile to go. Three of them battle for the lead. Flying Paster between horses. Spectacular Bid now up to take the lead. Spectacular Bid on the outside. Flying Paster second from between horses. How Rewarding on the rail, and Rosie Seville. They come to the 16th pole. Spectacular Bid drawing away to lead by 3. Spectacular Bid in front. Relaunch from between horses takes the early lead. Timbo on the outside second, with Flying Paster third. Spectacular Bid along the inside is fourth. Passing the stands for the first time. That's Relaunch on the rail. Timbo on the outside second, and then a gap of 6 lengths back to Flying Paster, and Spectacular Bid on the inside fourth. Quartet rounds the clubhouse turn that way. Relaunch in command by 3 parts of a length. Timbo on the outside second, and then a gap of 10 lengths back to the second flight, with Spectacular Bid third. Flying Paster is fourth. Straightening away down the backstretch. Relaunch in front by a length and a half. Timbo is second, and there goes the Bid. Quickly moving up third on the outside, going right to the leader. Then Flying Paster fourth. Down the backstretch, Relaunch has the lead by a head. On the outside, Spectacular Bid now challenging. A gap of 2 to Timbo third. And Flying Paster is fourth as they race to the far turn. Relaunch on the inside. And Spectacular Bid staying with them on the outside. Those two stride for stride. They race as a team around the far turn. Now Spectacular Bid getting to the front by a head. On the inside, Relaunch drops back second. And here comes the Paster. Coming to the quarter pole. It's Spectacular Bid in front by 2. Flying Paster flying on the outside second. Second for home. 3/16 of a mile to go. It's the Bid and the Paster at it again. It's Spectacular Bid on the inside. Flying Paster to challenge from the outside. They're in the final furlong. It's Spectacular Bid holding on to the lead. Flying Paster is second. The others are far back. And coming to the wire, Spectacular Bid in front. And he wins the San Fernando by a length. And Relaunch from between horses takes the early lead. Valdez in second position, Flying Paster on the outside third, and Spectacular Bid toward the rail fourth. Moving past the stands for the first time, Relaunch sprints away to an early 6-length advantage. With Valdez second, Flying Paster on the outside, and Spectacular Bid. The first quarter in a quick 22 seconds as they round the clubhouse turn. It's Relaunch now in front by 7. Valdez is second on the inside. Spectacular Bid moving up. And Flying Paster is fourth. Quartet moves to the backstretch, and Relaunch enjoys an 8-length advantage. Spectacular Bid on the inside is second, but Valdez is right alongside third. Then a gap of 5, and Flying Paster. The half in 44 and 3. And down the backstretch, Relaunch has the lead, but Spectacular Bid and Valdez closing the gap. And then 7 lengths farther back, Flying Paster at the half-mile pole. Relaunch in front by half a length. Valdez on the outside and Spectacular Bid. 3 of them across the track as they race to the far turn. Relaunch on the rail. Spectacular Bid between horses. On the outside, Valdez. Then a gap of 5 and Flying Paster.
Midway around the turn. On the inside, Relaunch holds on to the lead by a head. Spectacular Bid, second, 3 parts of a length. Valdez on the outside, third, and Flying Pacer. They're tightly bunched as they turn for home, but the Bid gets the lead. Spectacular Bid in front by 2. Relaunch on the rail. Here comes the Pacer now up into the second spot. And down the stretch they come. It's the Bid in front by 2.5, and the Pacer trying to close the gap. They race for the wire. Spectacular Bid in front. Under the wire with Phil Shoemaker in 1:57 and 4/5.
Here is the summary of this amazing triple for Spectacular Bid. Bid won all 3, Pacer second in all 3. In the Malibu, Bid carried 126, Pacer 123. Bid won by 5. Time 1 minute 20 seconds flat. New track record 1/5 of a second off the world record. In the San Fernando, Bid and Pacer 126 pounds each. Time 1 minute 48 seconds over a good track. The Charles H. Strub Stakes, Bid 126 pounds, Pacer 121 pounds. The fractions 22, 44 and 3, 108 and 2. The mile, Bid's fraction of 132 and 4/5, and the final time for the 1.25 miles, 1:57 and 4, a new track and world record. Spectacular Strub, Spectacular Bid.
Beaten by taking the Malibu, San Fernando, and Strub Stakes of that series and found himself facing only 4 challengers for the big cap. Grover G. Buddy Delp trained the gray colt, who was owned by the Meyerhoff family's Hawksworth farm. Even though he had to do his running on a sloppy track, he was one of 7 horses who succeeded in the handicap under 130 pounds.
Bose Eagle on the rail. From between horses, Spectacular Bid and Flying Pacer on the outside. Past the quarter pole. Spectacular Bid gets the lead. Here comes the Pacer on the outside. Bose Eagle third on the rail, and down the stretch they come. It's Spectacular Bid drawing away the lead by 2. Flying Pacer on the outside second, and Bose Eagle third. A 1/16 of a mile to go. The Bid in front by 3. It's Spectacular Bid winning the big cap. With Phil Shoemaker aboard easily under the...
They're off. All coming away to a good start. Glorious Song and the Cool Virginian racing for the lead with Steelwood along the rail. On the outside, a Tuner Up moves up fourth with Big Bulldozer fifth. Boyne Valley now speeding up along the rail. Then it's Spectacular Bid in 7th and Wave Forever far back. They race into the clubhouse turn with Steelwood on the outside. Boyne Valley now driving through along the rail. Those 2 matching strides with the Cool Virginian third. Tuner Up on the outside of 4th with Glorious Song 5th. Big Bulldozer alongside of 6th. Spectacular Bid is 7th and Wave Forever far back. Racing into the backstretch, Boyne Valley along the rail. Steelwood on the outside going stride for stride with the Cool Virginian third. Tuner Up goes along in 4th with Big Bulldozer 5th. Spectacular Bid now moving up on the outside. Along the rail, the filly Glorious Song now driving through. Wave Forever far back. They race toward the far turn with Boyne Valley in front. Steelwood is 2nd with the Cool Virginian 3rd. A Tuner Up 4th. Glorious Song now moving strongly in 5th. Spectacular Bid on the outside now making up a world of ground. Driving right up on the far outside. It's Glorious Song getting the lead with Tuner Up 2nd, Spectacular Bid on the outside a 3rd. Along the rail, Boyne Valley is 4th. A 1/4 mile to come, it's Glorious Song in front as Spectacular Bid drives up on the outside. A Tuner Up along the rail. They turn for home with Spectacular Bid and Glorious Song going stride for stride. It's Spectacular Bid on the outside now going to the front with Glorious Song 2nd. Spectacular Bid now drawing out by a 1.5 lengths with Glorious Song 2nd. It's Spectacular Bid now by a 1 3/4. Spectacular Bid wins it by a 1.5 lengths with Glorious Song 2nd, the Cool Virginian 3rd. Spectacular Bid under Willie Shoemaker winning this 14th running of the Amory L Haskell Handicap in 1 minute 48 seconds flat.
Bid, fat and sassy, has it all by himself today, out on the track for the post parade.
Well, you'd have to like this horse if you like horses, Jack, and I think the majority of the crowd are applauding. They do like him. He's won his last 9 starts.
Well, I think this is a New York crowd, Frank, and New York bettors are different than most of us, you know. I think they like the horse, but they don't like the walkover is what it is. But there he goes, and isn't he a grand-looking thing?
He's a fine horse. Bud Delp's done a great job handling him, and he is certainly the champion until somebody proves differently.
Now, I guess the only drama here is if Willie should fall off or not, and the fact of how fast he's going to go.
I think that is a big factor, Jack, for things to come, is just what Bud decides to do, and Bud Delp is going to join us here. Matter of fact, he's getting rigged up now. We'll have him in a minute.
In the meantime, let me ask you, Jimmy the Greek Snyder, what does walkover do to betting here?
Let me tell you the race. Unfortunately, I've got a great horse to work with, and I've got a great crew around me, and I've tried to call the right shots, and so far it's been great.
Will he probably run 1.5 miles in the Jockey Club?
Oh, without a doubt, no question about it. Looking forward to it. And it won't be a walkover with 500,000, with 100,000 per second.
No, for $500,000, you're going to be entertained.
Yeah, we'll be entertained. That's for sure. And also, Frank, I'd like to pay homage to Paul Mellon and Mac Miller for their bad incident. Horses are fragile individuals, and it's very unfortunate. I and the Meyer House were looking forward to running against Winner's Tale.
All right,
he'll be back. He'll be back.
There he goes.
What were your plans early on? An early beginning, Bud?
I just told you to rate him along nicely and get a good fitness workout of him, and not to let him loaf and to let him finish coming down the lane. So he's all shoes, and I have to check the fractions to see how he's doing. He's running very easy.
It does look like he's going easy. We can see some fractions from here. We haven't gone a quarter yet, Bud, but we're getting awful close to it. Have they put it up? Can you see it?
26 and
26,
so
and that's 13 to the 8.
He'll be coming down the stretch pretty good.
Watch him here, Bud. That looks like a horse moving to suit you. There's the quarter going.
It's a fitness trial, as I told you. It's the first time I've ever given him any orders. I wanted him to get a good one. The racetrack is manicured to perfection, and he's got to go 1.5 miles 2 weeks from today, so he needs a good one today.
His attitude looked good to me. He's better than average in the paddock, so you must be pleased the way he's handling himself.
Oh yeah, he's old hat at this now, and he's relaxed, and he's never been better, really, Frank. I was really looking forward to running against Winner's Tale, and I'm sure that all of America was. And unfortunately, the incident happened. It can happen to Bid. It could have happened to Bid. And that's why I feel bad about what happened to the other horse.
Your second quarter, you went in 24. Certainly the mark of a good horse. You've gone 3/4 mile and 14 1/5. So
he should pick it up. He should pick it up pretty soon. I want him to come down there. It's a good one.
He looks to me like he's going awful easy. We'll have the fractions. Let's see. He's going 1 mile. It's been 38 1/5, I believe that is.
Now, if he comes on down here now, if you asked him for a little bit coming on down here, he'll be good. I look for a better than 205 quarter, quarter. That's what I wanted. So he's reaching out strong now.
They're looking at the stride of the best horse in training in the world today, accomplishing a walkover, but a workout for the coming Jockey Club.
Looking good.
202 and 2.
Wow! Now that is.
What did he go the last part?
Let's see. The last 24 and something. Now that is the mark of a good horse.
You got to give tribute to Shoemaker on that deal.
Tremendous finish.
He had orders and he followed them to perfection. This horse got what he needed today. Now I can take 3 days off and so can Bid.
All right. Thank you very much, Bud. We'll be right back here at Belmont Park in just a moment.